Kuna Ramaphosa. Shoo! Wena! Ha! Awukho right. Why aren't they saying anything about this? This is a problem. It might not be a problem today immediately. I told you they're very patient. They grow until they've taken over everything. They're patient. Aye, banana chuchu. And it's caving in. Do you guys actually realize what's going on? No, our government can't allow this to happen, guys. And it's not just black people that are against this, even the Caucasians. South Africa is in trouble.
The Democratic Alliance is facing mounting accusations of selling out South Africa, with critics alleging that the party is prioritizing foreign interests over the needs of ordinary citizens. In Cape Town, residents accuse the DA of opening the door to European and Israeli investors, pushing locals out through gentrification and soaring property prices. Communities in Woodstock, Salt River and District 6 say they are being displaced for luxury developments, with activists warning that if Cape Townians don't resist now, the city could face a future of dispossession comparable to Gaza. But beyond property, attention is also turning to South Africa's strategic assets. The port of Cape Town, a vital gateway on the global shipping route, is increasingly viewed as a geopolitical prize. Western powers are said to have strong interests in controlling the port and nearby Simonstown naval base, critical for securing maritime trade routes when the Suez Canal is disrupted. Critics now argue that the DA's role in the new government of national unity is no coincidence. By taking charge of the Department of Home Affairs, the DA has influence over visas, migration, and residency permits. Community groups say this positions the party to quietly prioritize Western nationals under the guise of investment, while neglecting the crises facing South Africans, from unemployment to housing shortages. The DA denies these claims, insisting that foreign investment is essential for economic growth and that its Home Affairs Minister is working to modernize a broken system. But for many South Africans, the concern is clear. The DA's policies are seen as less about national development and more about aligning the Western Cape, and perhaps even South Africa's sovereignty, with foreign interests.
Like, South Africa is really in trouble, eh? Dudula. Right cause. But I think you're missing a group of people. Where are you guys? Because Phil Gregg is doing dangerous things. Where are you guys?
I'll vote ANC if they arrest this guy. The ANC wants him and his political party leaders arrested, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm 1000% on board. This is a message directly to the ANC. Number one, I really appreciate how hard you are coming down on this guy. And number two, I beg you to show him no mercy. Before I tell you what he did, let me tell you who he is. This is Phil Craig, who decided that he hates Queen and country, picked up his bags and immigrated to South Africa from England. However, it didn't take very long at all for him to get very irritated by the fact that we have a black government and a black president in Africa. So what do you do if you Phil Craig? Well, the obvious answer is to pack your little bags again and fuck off back home. But no, not Phil Craig. As a guest in South Africa, this immigrant decided to start his own little political party, with the only goal is to, number one, overthrow our black president, number two, overthrow our black government, and then number three, the worst of all, he wants to separate the Western Cape from the rest of South Africa, so that we have our own little country separated from our black government. I consider this the greatest threat to South Africa's democracy and to South Africa's security. Not because of him. Fortunately for us, he has zero charisma and is just about as interesting as a user manual. The threat is that more and more slimy immigrants are starting political parties to try and overthrow our government. Look at Phil Craig's flag. Red, blue and white. Remind you of anything? Where do you think this guy's loyalty lies? and he's pushing the wrong buttons. Now this guy's pushing buttons that he should not be pushing. He put up a border post. As an immigrant, he put up his little boom with his little Union Jack flag, and according to the ANC, right, they called it racist because he was stopping black people as an immigrant and searching their luggage. I am begging the ANC to change a few laws. We need a law that stops immigrants from other countries to take office or apply to be political parties in South Africa. I don't care if you're from Zimbabwe, Namibia, England, Timbuktu, it doesn't matter. If you're not born in South Africa and you're not happy, fuck off! Don't come and start political parties to literally tear our country apart.
Phil Craig is doing dangerous things. They're busy over there taking over the Western Cape. Oh, Phil Craig, he's a British man and he has a whole political party in South Africa, Cape Independence. Yeah, okay. And now they're trying to make it Western Cape their own little country with people from Israel. Luna. And people from Israel, they're really trying to turn the Western Cape into the situation with Israel and Gaza. Because if they get control of the Western Cape, they're going to bring their nuclear bombs there. Then they're going to get greedy and try to take over more pieces of land. And then it's going to be a problem. Why is everybody coming to South Africa, Kande? Why is everybody coming here? Why Nizalana? It's the African countries. It's the people from Israel. Whoever. Eluna. Everybody wants a piece of us in our country. And if they do what they're doing now and they succeed in the Western Cape, people are saying that Phil Craig needs to be deported. He needs to go back home because he's doing dangerous things, in my opinion. And Tutula, why aren't you Tutularizing them? Lavatava. You're not scared of our brothers and sisters, but them, you're scared of them because why are you not Tutularizing them? And then what he's doing is moving along. He's also trying to take over. Do you not see? If Western Cape becomes an independent country, it's going to become a problem. They're not supposed. They can't do that. They should not do that.
So you guys, apparently they are coming. They have laid Palestine to waste. They're almost done with Palestine, and now they're coming to South Africa. And I hear they already have Cape Town. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Our parents have already gone through apartheid. We can't go through it too. Yeah.
An independent Cape will have the exact same immigration policies as any democracy around the world. We will allow anyone to become a citizen of the Cape of Good Hope if they don't have a criminal record, if they have skills that they're going to bring to our country, if they're going to bring value to the citizens of our country. So there's not going to be any hard border in which some people are allowed, other people aren't, just like any country around the world. However, every country around the world needs to have borders which ensure that the resources within that country are not taken advantage of by illegal immigrants. So how do we deal with that issue?
The Cape Independence Advocacy Group says it intends to send a delegation to the United States. This is where it will raise funds and garner diplomatic support for its campaign to have an independent Western Cape. The group says it has written to President Cyril Ramaphosa as well as the DIRCO minister. Well, let's speak now to Phil Craig, who is with the Cape Independence Advocacy Group. Phil, a good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. You've written to the President, Ronald Lamola, as well as the Western Cape Premier, to say what exactly?
In the first instance, just to inform them that we're intending to go to the United States and that we're going to lobby there for Cape Independence. We've taken legal advice. We've always been an organisation that stayed within the bounds of the Constitution.
What we're looking to create in the Western Cape is an ideological homeland for people who think like us, people who have broadly Western values, who want to live in the first world, and want to and I've often used the example, the Western Cape becomes almost like Israel for the Jews, if I can use that example. You don't have to go and live in Israel if you're Jewish to benefit from an Israeli state. You've got somebody who's your people, your ideological people, and they're going to have your best interests at heart. And I think it's the one place where in South Africa, current South Africa, we can create hard power. We can have a police force, we can have a military, we can have borders, and actually be in a situation to influence in a really significant way at a national level the circumstances in South Africa as what currently is. Obviously, we want to break South Africa up, and I think that has huge benefit to people within the Afrikaans community who are vulnerable.
If she's not allowed to compete in Miss South Africa, why is he allowed to have a political party? He's an immigrant. He wasn't born here. As far as rumors go, she was born here.
Did you know that there's an Israeli community that lives in South Africa? In fact, it's one of the biggest Israeli communities in the world. Now, this is not an issue, but now people are starting to get worried because they're seeing flights full of Israelis traveling to South Africa. They are moving to South Africa. People are starting to wonder, is South Africa their new promised land? They are now starting to buy land, and not just any land in strategic parts of the country.
If you think you can just come and grab Africa for yourself, then you're mistaken. Africa is not for grabs. The land of Africa belongs to African peoples. This goes to the illegal settlers, like what is happening in Cape Town right now. Israel is inhabiting Cape Town. They are taking over Cape Town. They are claiming that they are buying off land. African land belongs to Africa.
And what's going on? This is serious. Ooh, this is how they took over back in the day. And then we had apartheid. Kancane, one little piece of land. Then they're going to say we want more and more and more and more. Isn't it giving Israel and Gaza? Isn't it giving what's happening there in Israel right now? Isn't it giving that? People are going to wake up when it's too late. Everybody's in South Africa. Everybody's here. And it's caving in. Do you guys actually realize what's going on? No, our government can't allow this to happen, guys. And it's not just black people that are against this. Even the Caucasians. They can see what's happening. You're giving control to people that should be going back home. They should go back home. But you're dollarizing the black brothers and sisters. What about them? Because what they are doing, and I told you guys, they're very patient. They've been doing this for a while. They are patient. And the parents are slowly, with smiles on their faces. Do you see what's happening in South Africa? It's bad. And you're going to wake up before it's too late. Oh, Luna. Ramaphosa. Shoo! Wena. Ha. Awukho right. Why aren't they saying anything about this? This is a problem. It might not be a problem today immediately. I told you they're very patient. They grow until they've taken over everything. They're patient. Ayeye banana chuchu size mashishini.